Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do a little video series here of my first attempt to make a neck knife. It's actually my first attempt really to make any kind of knife. Up until now I've just been kind of practicing on some mild steels and practicing my grinding techniques and different things like that. But now I figured it was time to go ahead and put some real steel to the grinding belt and see what I can come up with. So I'm going to go ahead and document this. We'll see how it goes. You'll see my successes and my failures. Hopefully more of the earlier than the latter. But I also went ahead and upgraded to a real video camera. Instead of using my iPhone. This way I can use a tripod and not have to hold the camera the whole time, and hopefully the image quality will be a little bit better too. So with all that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and get started here. As you can see, I got a one piece here of 1095 carbon steel. This is from Jant's Knife Supply. It's 1/8 inch thick by 1.5 inches wide and 18 inches long. And then I just got my little cigar box here with some blade templates I'd been working on previously, as shown in a couple previous YouTube videos. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with this design right here that I came up with for my first knife, and then we'll see how that goes, and then maybe a little later on we'll move on to the other designs, but one at a time. Just to start off here, I'm going to work on transferring this template to the carbon steel. For that I'm going to just use a regular metal scribe with a tungsten carbide tip and just scratch the profile into the metal. Alright, the layout's complete. As you can see, kind of learned my first lesson here. Went ahead and put some vice grips on these pieces to hold them together while scribing around it, just because the metal on metal was a little bit slick because of how smooth the surfaces are. So this helped keep it in place to get a nice scribe line around everything. I'm going to go ahead and take these off and see how it came out. Hopefully that shows up well on the camera. I'm pleased with how that came out. I got a nice sharp line all the way around. Should be able to grind right up to that line quite easily and get a nice representation of that template. I am going to cut this down obviously so that I can grind all the way around the blade. Hi guys, I'm going to try to continue a little bit of my video series here on my first knife. Do a little bit more work on it tonight. The last time I was filming, I had quite a bit of issues with my tracking belt on my grinder, and that took up a lot of tape time, just kind of fiddling with that. So a lot of the rough grinding I did not get a chance to tape, simply because I was too busy trying to fix my grinder. I did get that straightened out, as you may have seen in another video. Just turned out to be some spring tension issues. Belts just weren't tight enough on the grinder, so that's been since taken care of. And I figured tonight maybe I'd grind out a couple more templates to work with, just because I didn't get as much as I wanted to on the last tapings. So as you can see, here's my original template design, the one that I transferred to 1095. And then I have a couple more here. This one's actually on mild steel, and this one's on 1095. I think I'm going to cut the mild steel out. I just want to make another template to practice my hollow grinding on and see how that turns out. And the reason I'm making another one, I want to keep the original template to make future knives with. But this one I just want to practice some hollow grinds and maybe some different techniques and just see which I like best and see how it turns out. And this will give me some more practice without potentially wasting a piece of good knife steel. So tonight we'll just maybe do a little bit more filming on the roughing out procedure. It's nothing too spectacular, but I figured maybe some guys might like to see that. Just see the process I go through to grind the different contours out. There's a little bit of different technique for each part of the knife. So we'll try to get as much of that as possible. I don't know how much of these tapes I'm going to edit down once I get them all finalized. But hopefully we'll get something that's informative and cohesive at the same time. So we'll go ahead and start roughing this material down. Let me get my camera repositioned so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better, and we'll get started. Alright, hopefully this shows up somewhat well. I don't have the best lighting in my shop at the moment, at least in this particular area. I just got a little portable clamp light kind of showing this work table here. But what I'm going to do first before I start roughing out the profile is I'm just going to take the corners off of the template where there's a little bit of extra material. Just to kind of speed things up and not wear my sanding belts down so much. I got plenty of these small grinding wheels and they seem to do a good job at taking away metal, so that's what we're going to do first, and then we'll take it to the sander and finish the profile. Go ahead and put my full face shield on, get started. Alright, I think we can do the rest of this on the belt sander easy enough. You may have noticed a couple things. First of all, I was kind of nibbling away at this. That's simply because I don't have a lot of clearance with this 4.5 inch grinder. The main purpose of this will be to cut the notches out at the ends of my blade there. For that, it's perfect. Another thing you may notice is this loose table here. It's actually just another piece of 1/4 inch plate, and the reason I have that on there is it raises this table up a little bit, and I'm able to get almost a perfect 90-degree angle to my cut, or to the inside of my cut on this wheel. Obviously it's not going to be perfectly straight because we're working with a circular wheel. But this does give me just the right amount of height to cut an 1/8 inch piece of material with almost 90-degree cut on the inside there. So that's my reasoning behind that. I'll probably end up securing that a little bit better one day, but for now it's doing alright like that. Now I'll go ahead and reposition for the grinder, and we'll film a little bit of that.